Good evening. I was just thinking Thanksgiving, family get togethers, cooking, food prices, baking, and maybe you are, or maybe you're alone. Holidays are not always exciting for many and bring anxiety. I want to share some things that have helped me over the years with many of those things, not just the normal traditional things, but many of those things. So, welcome to Friday's Hope. This is where we share hope for everyone, everywhere, in every situation. There is always hope. Always. I'm Minister Sue. I'm part of the ministry team at the Worship Center here in Dixon, Illinois. And Thanksgiving and any other holiday is always so very nerve-wracking for many. My daughter-in-law is such a great cook, and I have many friends that are great cooks, and they love it. I'm not one of them, but I do love having people over. But a lot of this stuff causes anxiety. And I've been through almost every issue there is in my life. As I've mentioned in the introduction of this week's program, there's been a lot of things I've gone through with Thanksgiving. So I'd like to share some things that have helped me because I would get anxious weeks before. Weeks before. Weeks before the event. Weeks before whatever it is, you know. And so I want to share a few things that have helped me tremendously. I hope they help you, because Thanksgiving and all the other times should be a time of joy and peace. And I just want to share some things. I would be concerned if I messed up with everyone at my home. You know, the turkey comes out burnt, or one year I forgot to take the innards, the gizzards, and all the stuff out, and I cooked the turkey with that and the stuffing in there. Yeah. Another year I've forgotten things. You know, I've burnt things. Forgot the rolls in the oven. They did not need to be cooked 30 minutes, just 5. Yeah, they were hockey pucks. So many things have happened in my life with this. And so I prayed, and I've just learned this recently. When the holidays show up, I pray. I don't deal with stress like I used to, but whenever a situation shows up where I am worried, scared, afraid, angry, resentful, name any emotion that can come on you for any special event, I'd actually pray and say, you know what, God, I am feeling really, and insert whatever thing you're feeling, you know, really afraid. I would be afraid that I'd mess up, or angry because it was messing up, you know, all those emotions. But as soon as I prayed and admitted to God that I was feeling all those things, that helped all by itself. But then I asked him to help me get through that particular event or the holiday and show me the best way to deal with whatever struggle I was having that particular holiday. It really does work. It really does work. It really helps when we talk to God and just share our concerns, our fears, our resentments, our anger, or whatever we're struggling with about the holiday. That's what we're talking about this time. But in any situation, if you're really struggling with some strong emotions, then you know what? God, I'm not feeling very good about this. I'm scared, or I'm angry, or I just don't want to do this. That happens sometimes too. But we don't have to be stressed but on our own. We can give those feelings and talk to God about it. It's so relaxing when we have someone we can share with, knowing we won't be judged, or we won't get hollered at or belittled. So many times when we share with some folks, We say, oh, you shouldn't feel like that, or oh, that shouldn't happen, or whatever. Well, it is happening, and I am struggling with it. But when we go to God, He immediately says, I know, and I'm going to help you through it. And it's almost like He lifts off that emotion off your shoulders. It's almost like He says, I've got you. Just hang in there. We'll get through this. It's just odd how He does that. Just by sharing how I feel. I think sometimes we go straight with, okay, Lord, help me with this, versus, okay, Lord, I'm really struggling here emotionally. And we don't have to deal with stressful times during the holidays or any other time on our own. How many times have we said that? On our own. We don't. Isaiah 41:10 says, fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. So first of all, you don't have to fear, because God's right there with us. Second of all, we don't have to be dismayed, because He is our God. And third of all, we don't have to feel like we're weak or we can't do anything, because He says, I'll strengthen you. I'll help you. I'll uphold you with my righteous right hand. That's amazing. That's like God saying, I get a picture of me dealing with the oven and the turkey. And say, come on, I'll help you get this taken care of, or help you get it out of the oven, or whatever it takes. So it's like He's right there helping us. And He is right there helping us. It's something that we really have to do. You know, I've talked to several people, oh, I can do this on my own. Well, you probably can, but how much more difficult is it, instead of letting God come in and say, I'll strengthen you, I'll help you. Psalm 46:1 says, God is our refuge. That means He gives us a place to hide when it's kind of crazy, you know, and He kind of pulls us out of the mud and the muck and the mire. He said, God is our refuge and strength. There we go again. A very present help in trouble. So when we're in trouble, He's not off somewhere doing something and He's ignoring what we're doing. No, He's right there for all of us, for everybody. A very present help in trouble. Not too late, maybe later. No, when you need the help, He's there. He's very present. We talk about being in the present, or present for mental health. Don't worry about or start thinking about everything that's going to happen next week or even in the past. Be present today. Well, that's what God is, present today, and He loves us. He's going to help us carry things through. The other thing is preparation for the special day usually overwhelmed me. All I saw was all the things that had to be done or bought or cleaned or cooked, or dealing with all the people who were coming over. On the opposite side of being alone, I was all alone also, and I thought, what do I do? I've had both in my life, and they both were overwhelming. When I had, you know, the family and everybody, all my families, you know, all my kids are grown and married and gone. But, you know, when I had family, I had to deal with kids and husband and relatives, and I thought, oh, geez, you know, it got a bit overwhelming. But I just started doing some things, and then being alone later on, after everybody was gone and everybody had grown up and all that good stuff that they do. You know, they do that. Now I'm alone on a holiday, or now I'm alone on a special day, and maybe I didn't get invited anywhere or whatever. What do I do about that? Because that can be just as difficult, if not more so, to be like that. So how was I going to do it all or get through that special day by myself? And again, I'm going to sound like a broken recording. Sorry, but not sorry. I prayed so hard about this stuff. I'm not kidding. I asked God, should I do what I should do? Also talk to some friends and family. You know, sometimes it helps to talk to people about how do I handle this, especially friends that you know will guide you and encourage you and love you. So there's a verse that says in Psalm 32:8, the Lord says, I will guide you along the pathway for your life. I will advise you and watch over for you. So what he's telling you is you can say, God, I don't know how to handle this day, or I don't know what I'm supposed to do. He's going to advise you and watch over you. You know, it isn't just for the holiday. The scripture was written for our lives. But look, it's just as much appropriate for that special day. So he's going to advise you and guide us to the best pathway. Proverbs 3:6, and all your ways acknowledge him. In other words, honor him, praise him, worship him, pray to him, and he shall direct your paths. In other words, talk to him about it. So when I had all the family over, I made a list of things that needed to be done, a list of things that needed to be bought, a list of things that needed to be cooked, and how much. And I did that early on. And now, after I did it for so many years, it's like, okay, I know I don't need to make a list anymore. But early on, I made some lists, and they were a couple, 3 weeks early. And I started just kind of figuring it out. Sometimes when you can break it down into smaller pieces, it helps because you can handle it. You can manage it once you break it down into smaller pieces. And I talked to some people, about it. And then when I was alone on the special holidays, I talked to God. I said, you know what? I've never been this way before. What am I going to do? I'm all by myself here, Family wasn't around, didn't have that. And a lot of the family in the church had family, And I was invited by some to come over and, and stuff like that. But most of the time I was alone. One time, when I was still working for the home care agency, I went and sat with one of my clients who also did not have anybody. And we just sat and talked. Didn't clean, didn't take care of anything, just sat and talked. That was, that was one of the greatest things, one of the greatest times. It just helped her, and it helped me too. And so what are you going to do if you're all alone? Plan now. We have a place here that serves free Thanksgiving dinners to the community. You just show up and they give you a Thanksgiving dinner. They always ask for volunteers to help serve. Well, why not? I'm alone. I don't have family. So I went down and served. I helped put together trays. I didn't do any of the cooking, but I helped put together trays and got things for people. I mean, I just kind of ran around and took care of people. That was fun. I really enjoyed that, and the day went so fast. So you can do things on holidays that you don't have to just be stuck at home. If you got friends, give them a call. There's lots of restaurants that are open on Thanksgiving. Go grab some girlfriends, guys, and go and have dinner at a restaurant. If you don't like turkey, have roast beef, whatever. But grab some folks and go and have dinner together, or make dinner. Have a bunch of friends over and make a dinner, potluck a dinner. But there's a million things we can do, whether it's a whole bunch of people coming over or you're by yourself. You can do things. Start planning. I even ordered a special meal for me. I would be with other people my age who I knew would be alone to do something together. So we don't have to just sit there. God is there. He's going to help us and guide us, just like I said, and help us through those holidays and those difficult times. Then the day came. Oh boy. Cooking that needed to be done, decorating that needed to be done, greeting people, setting the table. I had to get ready. Would that day go without any problems? Nope. No, there were problems. Always is. Something always went wrong. Burned food, forgot to cook something. I've done that. Or buy something to make a dish. Had that happen. Not enough of something. Yep. I wasn't ready, or who was going to get the dog out of the way? We had a little Pekingese. Cute little thing, big brown eyes, and he loved turkey dinners. Except it was like poison to him. So one year we left him out and we told everybody don't, it was a girl, we told everybody don't feed her, she'll get sick. Well, you got big old brown puppy eyes batting at you. Well, just a little bit won't hurt her. Yeah, it did. So we ended up boiling rice and chicken, I think, for a week to get her stomach straightened around. But we learned, and Miss Brandy, our dog, got put in the bedroom then from then on. Did she fuss and muss? Yeah, she did, but she was healthy when she came out of there. And that was the idea. Things go wrong. Things go wrong. Okay, let yourself off the hook. It's okay to laugh at it. I did not handle the day well. I would get so anxious and angry, but then after many years, I learned two things. It's okay to just laugh and do the best I can. Most everyone will accept us for who we are, and we can relate to what that day was like for me. And apologize when needed. Oops, I forgot to make the rolls, or oops, I burned the pie. Just apologize. It takes the heaviness off the whole situation. It just happens. Life happens. Go to God. An apology never killed anyone. In fact, it takes the heaviness off the situation. If someone does get critical, just agree with them and say, yep, I screwed up, and keep moving forward. It's one day. And if we laugh at it and apologize and do the best we can, the others will respect you and be so much happier, and so will you. When I was alone, I woke to that day saying, God, this is your day. You have a plan for me. What would you have me do with your day? And he would direct my footsteps, my actions for that day. I would share with him how lonely I felt, how hurt I felt, how difficult it was to be alone. Again, he stepped in with his love and showed me how to do the day. God promised he is there to help through all and give us the ability and strength to do the day. And I want to go back to, how am I going to deal with this day? Again, there's so many places that need help, volunteers. There's so many places that could use a cook. There are so many places that could help with the elderly on that day. You don't have to be alone. What do you love to do? Find somebody that needs your talent. Churches need help. Nursing homes, youth centers, so many places need help, especially on the holidays. Find your talent, and then find somebody that would love to have you share your talent with them. But he gives us the ability and strength to do the day. Philippians 4:13 says, what? Most of you know this. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Psalm 31:3 says, you are my rock and my fortress. In other words, we're going to get on this, and we have the strength, and he's going to protect us. Therefore, for your name's sake, lead me and guide me. See, they are going to see how well you handle this, or if you're angry and grouchy or whatever. That's going to honor the Lord when we just handle it and just realize it's a day. It's a day. You'll be all right. Psalm 119:105. Your word is a lamp to guide my feet and a light for my path. He's going to guide you on every single situation. You just have to ask. And by the way, get into his word. That's part of it. Get into his word. Read his love letter called the Bible. It is amazing. Get into his word. Psalm 139:10. Even there your hand will guide me, and your strength will support me. Even there, even then. He doesn't pick and choose what he's going to help you with. No, he's going to help you with absolutely everything. You don't have to do life alone. He isn't going to say, well, I'm not going to help her with that, and then go and help you with something else. No, he is there every time, all the time, every day, for everything, multiple times. He just loves us that much. The money, the money. Oh my gosh. It can cost a lot to do the holidays or a special event. And prices are sometimes higher around the holidays and my budget. My budget wasn't that good. So, what to do? Again, plan ahead. First and foremost, I believe with all my heart and all my budget to tithe. Give back to God 10% of all He gives me. I've done it for over 40 years and I have never, ever, ever gone without. There's a time when I was alone and I was raising my granddaughter. I was a single mother in my 50s. $80 a week is what we lived on. You know, we never went without. Never. God provides so many opportunities and places. God provides so many things that my granddaughter and I did quite well. Did I tithe on that $80 a week? You betcha. I tithe $10 off every check. But 10% is only 8. That's right, it is. But I wanted to give God back even more for all He was doing for me. So I am a firm believer in tithing. He helps me out so much. He helps you out so much. No, you're not going to miss it. No, you're not going to come short. You probably are already short on your bills anyway. You don't think He can protect you from that? You don't think He can't get you through that? Come on. Tithe 10% off the top. And God will take it from the rest and help you through on how to do the rest. So, I've never gone ahead. I've never gone without. Next, plan ahead. Many things can be bought early, like the ingredients for the pie or the green bean casserole or the corn casserole. Check out other stores besides the mainstream store. I am, and I hope I'm not killing some kind of copyright law, I'm an avid Aldi shopper. Avid. Been there since the middle 70s I've shopped them. Sometimes the stores that aren't these brand name stores have better things at a discount than the brand name stores. Same thing with products. You don't have to buy the name brand products. Sometimes the store brand products are just as good, if not better. Even sometimes turkeys can be bought ahead of time, but this is another lesson. Sometimes they're less expensive closer to the holiday because they're trying to get rid of them. So know your foods. Know when they'll be less expensive. Get some apps that'll give you the sales on your store. Ask for help. You know, and that's another thing with the food. Others can bring the deviled eggs or the corn casserole. You don't have to do it all alone. I keep saying that, but it is true. Have you ever asked God to help you plan and cook for the event or the holiday? Have you ever asked your family or your friends to cook and help with the holiday? It helps. I can't imagine doing that whole meal by myself anymore. My goodness. My bank and my back would be broken by then. No. We don't do that anymore. We ask for help. This Thanksgiving, my son and daughter-in-law are doing Thanksgiving. And we all got our assignments on what foods we're bringing and stuff, you know. And it's going to work out great. We all ask everybody to do their specialty because they're super good. And so we're getting more food than we know what to do with. By the way, speaking of that, if you have extra food and you really can't take it home or you really don't know what to do with it besides throw it out, get a hold of your PADS shelter, men's shelter, women's shelter, and call them up. Somebody grab a phone number for them and say, hey, we got leftover Thanksgiving dinner. Would you guys like it? And they love it. Do it the day of. Don't do it down a week later or whatever, but give them a ring. We've done that where we had a huge potluck and not as many people came. And one of the guys knew somebody that ran the pad shelter. Shoot, we pulled up in that parking lot and they came pouring out of that pad shelter, helping us carry it in and everything else. So Donate the food too. It's great. They love it, you know. Any kind of shelter loves it. Women's shelter, abused women's shelter. Wonderful. Donate. Afterwards, everyone is gone. The event is done. And now there's a mess to clean up, not only in your house, but your body, your mind, and your emotions. I don't know about you, but I get exhausted after doing all that. I always have. Doesn't help now that I've gotten older. But I'm telling you what, we're all a mess when we get done. Almost always. Did I do it right? Oh, I messed up here. Maybe I offended there. Oh, look at that mess in my kitchen. Nobody liked this casserole. It's all still there. My body hurts. I really ache. Come on, guys. You know we do it. You know we're the worst, our own worst critics, right? I am. And I know many of my friends are. Okay? It's time to rest. It's time to rest. And it's time to clean up. Clean up your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit, and your house. The house being the last, I hope. It's time to just say, you know what? Thank you, God, for helping me through this. Forgive me for the things I messed up on. Bless the people that came. I'm sorry I, burnt the rolls. I should have known better. And whatever. I'm sorry I offended Mr. So-and-so or whatever it is. But then let it go and let your body rest. Sit and have that nap on the couch or the recliner. Sit and let the body just rest. Turn off your mind. You're done. The day is done. The event is done. Turn off your mind. There's nothing you can do about it now. You can't go back. And turn on your spirit. Turn on some worship music. Turn on some podcasts that talk about Jesus. Turn on something that will encourage you and strengthen you, body, mind, soul, and spirit. Feed your body, feed your mind, feed your soul, and feed your spirit. Feed them. Healthy, wonderful, encouraging things. Feed them. It just is. And then there's the holiday that you spent and you were spending it alone, and maybe you were resentful or sometimes overwhelmed. And you spent it alone. First, rest. We cannot let that me say, I cannot say that enough again. We cannot deal with stressful, anxious days when we're tired. Rest. Take a nap. Chill. Give your body, mind, and emotions a rest. If you spend it alone, give your mind a rest. Tell Jesus, thank you for this day. It wasn't exactly how I planned. Heal my hurt from having to be alone, this hurt. But God, I know you can heal. Stop worrying, stop planning, just be still and rest. You can clean up the mess later. It's going to be there. You don't have to clean it up right away. I know that mom or that dad or whoever is saying, oh, you got to do those dishes. Yeah, you're right. But you don't have to do them right away. You have to feed you. Make sure you feed you and your body. Make sure you feed you and your body and your mind, your soul, and your spirit. That's more important. You are more important than those dirty dishes in that sink. You are more important than that food that needs to be put away. Come on. Take care of yourself. The holidays are tough. Take care of yourself. He loves you so much. He wants to help you. There's Matthew 11:28 says, come to me, all you who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Rest is a central theme in the Bible. Established at creation, God created the world and everything in it in 6 days, and on the seventh he rested. Jesus, when he was on the earth ministering, he would go into the mountain and seclude himself and rest. It's important. Rest is a central theme. It's is because it's a divine design for physical restoration, a commandment to honor God through the Sabbath, and a spiritual practice finding rest for the soul in God's presence. Resting in the Bible means more than just relaxing. It's about surrendering your worries, restoring the mind and body, and trusting God to provide. Physical well-being. The body acknowledges the body needs, the Bible acknowledges the body needs rest. For example, after exhaustion, God commanded Elijah to eat and rest before continuing his journey. Yeah. When God sent an angel to Elijah, he didn't tell him to get up and move or I'm going to supply. He gave him food. And he told him to rest first because the journey is going to be long. Hello, the journey is going to be long. Mental rest. Just as the body needs rest, so does the mind. Constant stress can lead to mental exhaustion, which is why the practice of rest is also vital for mental and health emotions. You can't do things when you're tired and stressed out. Oh, you can, but it doesn't work really well, and you get more tired and stressed out. Rest, and I'm not even just talking about sitting and relaxing. I'm talking about wrapping yourself around Jesus and rest in his perfect peace and love. About rest in his promises that are yes and amen. You rest in the fact that he got you through it. Hello, whether we're going through a one-day ordeal or months or years or whatever, he got you through it one day at a time. Just rest. Just rest in him. He's got it. He's going to take care of it. I know the holidays can be stressful, difficult. Sometimes it's okay, and you will get through it. Take it easy. Plan ahead. Pray. Get some help. Investigate other ways you can take care of the holiday or who can help. And relax. It really is going to be okay. And it's usually only one day. One day. Then you're done. And you can go back to whatever you were doing. You know, if you are feeling so upset that you want to hurt yourself or others, please reach out. Reach out, reach out, reach out. Reach out to Jesus, first of all. Ask him to help you. And then let him guide you to some place or somebody that will help you. Call your local police. Call your doctor, the psychiatric facility. The Y has wonderful programs for somebody that's depressed or upset. 988 is a wonderful, wonderful program that'll help you through. I saw a documentary on them, and my goodness, they're amazing. But reach out to get help. Reach out to get therapy. Maybe you don't feel like you need therapy, but you're drinking every night. Yeah, I think you need therapy. Maybe you don't feel like therapy, but you're crying all the time. I think you need therapy. Maybe you don't feel like you need therapy, but you're angry all the time. Come on. Just admit it. It's not a bad thing to have therapy. We've all been in it. We've all done it, and we've come out better for it many times. If you find a therapist that's not working for you, look for another one. Just get help. Instead of hurting yourself or others, get help. Reach out. We are all there to help you. We are all there to help you walk through this difficult time. I promise you there's somebody out there that's willing to help. I promise you that. Thank you for watching Friday's Hope. I appreciate it. I pray all is well. I love y'all, and I am praying for you. Have an amazing week. God bless you.